Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to share some time, some fellowship, offer some encouragement and inspiration. I want to share some time and space, create the space, share the space with others. I have dropped the link to the panel for those who might wish to join. Today, I don't know how to describe where I'm coming from today. All are welcome. Blessings to you who have been so encouraging, so supportive, sincerely. Some of these names, those memories, the encouragement I've received. That's why I'm clicking go live. Hey, there's someone to join already. Welcome, Cage. Interesting. Well, you're welcome, and I'll figure out what's going on when it's time to know what's going on. Maybe just popping in to say hi. Wasn't intended to join so soon. No worries. I noticed. Hey, for those who are interested, we're interested. I did spend some time earlier on We Are Awake TV. They're doing a panel, some streaming. I noticed I was chuckling, man. Most of my regular panel is over there. I imagine many of the viewers as well. But that's all right. I'm here. And I've been given some thought to this topic, the idea of overcoming the human part of us so that the divine part may shine.
Hey, Jack. Sorry, I had audio issues earlier. Thank you for having me, brother.
Hey, no worries. Welcome.
And I did see on a different think, the abbreviation of think. Can I go over that, Jack?
Dude, I fucking love it. Yes. Here, let's do this. Share that instead. Pop that in. Think. Hey, welcome. How do I zoom in this?
Hey, Cynthia.
Yeah.
Hey, Cage. Hey, Jack.
How you doing? Hey, yeah, so that think. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind?
Oh, yeah.
The abbreviation.
Mm-hmm.
We got one for Perogi too, right, Cynthia?
Oh my gosh, Cage, let it go already.
Just joking. Come on.
How are y'all doing? I saw y'all over there, Cage. I've been seeing you all around this morning. Okay, Cage, making moves.
I've been on a little bit of a rampage. I know.
I see. And then I seen Jack over at We Are TV. Man, I've never really watched him before, so he looks like he's going to be an interesting. They were talking on some pretty cool topics. I like the vibe over there.
I have a lot of respect for Ian. I like what he does, and because of one of your posts, I finally found Trigger Man. I finally got subscribed to him, and I tuned in a little bit on something from the other day.
We're down for 2 weeks over there. We got a kind of strike. Yeah. So, which is funny you bring that up because that's why I was coming up here. So I feel like it's time for me to start having panels, right? This has been in the back of my mind because there needs to be women panels.
Beautiful.
And different type of conversations. I mean, we can only talk about people for so long, right? So, I overthink everything. And I'm like, well,
Wait a minute, Cynthia, you're a woman? I thought you had a Progi in between.
Oh, my God.
You
Cage.
I'm just joking.
Read the room. Read the room.
So, let's promote your non-existent panel that's going to happen in the future. Everybody go and join Cynthia's panel. Let's get it off. There you go. That's what you need.
Oh, wow. Cage. It's just,
Well,
I don't get it. Anyways, I'm ignoring Cage.
It's ridiculous.
And so he's down for 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, I guess it's now or never, because I got him for 2 weeks and we got a whole audience because he has a different group of people waiting for some content. So I'm thinking this is it. So it's going to happen soon. And plus it's like training wheels. I have someone to help me that I trust. And I know that the rest of you guys are going to come. Hopefully not Cage. And
now I'm gonna have to appear because you just
no, please don't. And but when Ian was talking and he said something, I don't know if he was somewhere else, but he said he has the instinct just to automatically know when to drop people down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I have that too, because I'm not sure if I have that too. And just watching him.
You have the draconian spirit within you, Cynthia. I believe in you.
Oh my gosh. Just watching him, engage in conversation and control the panel as well as you and others. It's nerve-wracking, but I'm excited. Any advice you would have you've been doing this for a while? Not you, Cage. No.
My doctor told me to get my 6th booster, so I'm
oh my God, Cage.
Golly, jeez.
Come on, bro.
Hey.
Like we got to grow up. See, and then I'm nervous. How is the urban community gonna accept Snaps and Tommy? Because they're coming, right?
Hey, you know how they will. You point out they represent themselves, right?
Right, but then that's what I'm saying. Like,
so, and they who knows? And here, the advice I'd offer you, Cynthia. Whatever you're doing, trust in you and have fun.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I like that one. Have fun.
Have fun.
Unlike other people, I look at you guys as my elders, and I automatically respect everybody, no matter what.
Call cap on that. I call total bullshit.
Well, actually, I've never said anything about it. You're out of pocket, obviously. I never said anything because I look at you like almost like my mother. I'm not going to disrespect an older woman or an older person in general.
I feel like you're just talking bullshit right now, Cage, and I would be lying if I didn't say it.
Oh well, no, like you can go back into it. I said I forgave you, Cynthia. You said fuck Cage after. You don't care. You don't want it. It's fine.
All right, Cage. Can we just talk about other things now?
Please. Thank you.
Like myocarditis or something. Inflammation.
No.
I don't know. We'll talk about that.
Cage, dude. You've got a lot of wisdom, but you've still got this impatience about you, it seems. I don't know. We're all here for a good reason. We're all here for the same reason. Hey, Cage is gay. He tries to be respectful. I do see that. He's not always respectful, but I see him at least trying most of the time. And I do appreciate that, Cage.
Well, I'm a type of guy, if we're in an actual situation where you needed assistance, I would not leave you there to suffer. Hey, I'd actually go out of my way to help you. I'm not going to leave I don't care who it is, a Perogi or not. You're still going to be treated properly either way.
Actually, this brings up something that I'm about offering support, not offering support. What do we do? I came across this video earlier and I have it loaded. Cynthia, you guys do know more about what you can and can't do. I honestly have not looked into the rules and what's right. Mm-hmm. I heard you mention something about local news streams.
Oh yeah, you can use those.
free to go, but
Mm-hmm.
some of the bigger ones are not.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I don't watch any of the local ones.
The local ones have the greatest. You have to do really research, like what's
Okay.
going on in different places.
Well, I honestly, not to promote or,
Where's your Cash App,
whatever.
actually?
Oh, I did put that in the description, I believe.
Well, okay. Give me a sec. I've got comments to reply to. But go ahead, Jack.
I did. I put it in. I put some. I put some things in the description, and I figured out what it is.
Cynthia, I'm gonna do like I don't know. I'm gonna say it again. I might as well. Okay, I'll go out of my way to help you, and I'm not gonna do anything. You know, it doesn't. It has to be. It doesn't have to be in the physical. It's in the background. Okay, you're good.
Who's he
For
talking
example,
to?
my mother, and a bunch of my family got the thing, and that that people are like, oh, and my mom had a brain aneurysm right after that, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
well, I definitely wasn't sorry to hear it because I realized that has an opportunity. I did something called the middle pillar technique. You can look into it, and all of a sudden that shit went away, and she's healed. So just because you got stuck with that doesn't mean it's going to affect you at all. It's all about the mind state, really, and the esoteric wisdom or the alchemical transmutation that you're able to do. Everyone's able to do. You know how much power you have, all of you. You and you, everybody. Doesn't matter.
Cage, this is one of the things. Whatever you were sharing last night.
Yeah.
I didn't catch who that guy was, but I enjoyed the presentation.
Yeah, he unfortunately passed away. The government took him out. A quote car crash.
I thought that's what you said. Who was that?
Vindicated.
Okay. Yeah. There's so much craziness that has been happening in our world, and it's happening still today. There's a lot of evil people. They get a lot. Some of this evil, honestly, it's like right there in plain sight, and it just happens because everyone's like, no, that can't be real. No, someone's going to take care of that. No, that's not. I mean,
So Talcott, what you're saying is everyone's always expecting somebody else to pick up the mess for them and give them the reality or the comfort that they want within their reality. So people always hate on government and structure, but they'd be lost without it. If you don't know how to structure yourself and govern your own mind, how the fuck do you think you're gonna have anything? That's the issue. People need to be told what to do.
Cage, yes, the two go together. The two go together. We do need to be told what to do until we don't.
Yeah, human beings. I don't personally.
Well, we all need to learn, and this world we were born into, it's inverted and backwards, and truly the words can be accurate. Luciferian by design. The the oppressive systems of economics, the oppressive and divisive systems of economics and the state.
Well, you're set up to lose. You're set up to. It's pretty much like you're on, like the old picture of a horse with a carrot in front of it. It's like, yeah, you're on a treadmill with a metaphysical carrot that does not exist. You're just running around like a retard and getting nowhere at all. By the time you're done the marathon, you're in the same spot that you began at. That's the whole trick of the system. That's why you have to create value, create a service or a product yourself, and then exchange that for something that's tangible.
Or yes, I mean that's yes and no.
It's like a bartering system.
Yes, Well, there's a lot of ways we can change. There's a lot of ways we can increase our own value, meaning our self-worth and what we have to offer, or the value we offer and share with the world. Cynthia, bless you, my friend.
What are you
You're
talking
muted.
about, Cage? I'm not even listening to you.
Right over your head, huh, Cynthia?
Just it's so and anywho, Jack.
Hey, bless you.
Why are you asking about the news streams? Are you trying to find a stuff for your show? Like I'm also like I like OTW's soundboard. Like that seems like a cool little thing too. But I also feel like playing the news clips and stuff, because sometimes people are visual learners. Like when I was in school, we took tests like, do you learn visually, listening, or writing down? So that's one thing I've been thinking about is, do I want to incorporate visuals like that to engage the audience more?
Well, a little neuro-linguistic programming, even with visual cues and coloring. Oh, Cynthia. Cynthia, were you bullied in school?
No, I wasn't.
What do you...
Everybody seems to love you, Cage, and I love that they love you, which means it's okay for me not to love you as much because you have so much love.
Well, he has.
I do care. I want to say love, but I do care about you, Cynthia.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Cage is an interesting character. I've wondered, here's the way I look at it. For whatever reason, God brought into my life these different characters.
Right.
And so typically...
That's a good way to look at it. I should probably look at it too. All right, Cage, I guess you're cool too.
As long as like enough people tell you that and you believe it, I guess.
It's just that sometimes you say the most, you don't read the room. That's what I think it is. Sometimes it's hard. You don't read the room.
Amen.
I read the room and all I saw was frozen pierogies. So I scrapped that and I'm going.
Cage, this is, I don't get it.
I know. Okay. So a long time. Go get the pierogies. Like, if you're going to talk about them, can you please go get them and do what you did last time?
I've actually kept them for you, Cynthia.
Could you please go do what you did last time so we can tell Jack this story? Because he's so behind.
I think I have them in the back of the freezer here.
Regina Smith, God bless you.
Yay.
Holy cow.
How much are your memberships, Jack?
$2.99 and $3.99.
Let me join Jack's membership. I just hate we can't do it over the phone. I mean, on our phones.
You know, please, I would prefer most to know that I'm sharing value.
No, you are.
Hey, what is this?
Okay, see? Okay, so he goes and he flashes this one time on stream, right? So I think he's flashing his testicles. And I'm like, did anybody else catch that? Right? And so it became Perogi Gate. And I still to this day don't know what a pierogi is, but this is it. And so we're never living that down. That's forever Perogi Gate. And Cynthia and Cage will always come together.
Conspiracy, I love it.
Like I completely forgot it. They had to remind me what that was. And now that I remember the word pierogi because it's Perogi Gate. Oh my gosh. But back to the conversation that Jack and I were having. Are you wanting to incorporate more stuff like that into your show?
Well, it's partially what the conversation went. Yeah. You know, when I talk about the pains of war that I'm seeing, I should share some clips so other people are reminded that, you know,
right.
Sometimes life ain't fair.
My dad says the fair only comes in October because that's when our state fair is. And he's like, that's when the only time fairs come around, okay? Yeah.
And that goes back to a deep Druidic Celtic superstition of Shyam or whatever it's called, or Halloween as it is, right? From October 31st to around November 2nd today. Apparently, those days, a lot of cultures believe that the metaphysical world and, this reality kind of blend together. Like the veil is lifted in a specific way, and, there's more ties into it. So it's funny how your father said that. It comes from a deep-rooted belief.
No, he said that because the state fair comes in Texas in October. The fair only comes in October.
Well, why does the fair only come in at that point? Think about it.
Oh my god!
Perfect.
Like, is it me or did he read the room wrong? Is it me?
Nope.
Okay, like, because sometimes I do feel like I can be bitchy, and I'm trying not to be so bitchy, but I feel like,
dude. Hey, Cynthia, you actually do very good. Regina, bless you. Thank you so much. I mean, golly, jeez.
Yeah. No, this is work. You think about the show, you stay consistent, and as anybody knows, there are days we don't even want to get out of bed. There are days we're like, fuck this life. I'm just gonna go back to bed. Right? And you are consistent with it, among other people. Hey, among other people on my other side too. They're consistent with it too.
Hey, Cynthia.
And that is a true testament. Like, so that's work. Don't we show up for jobs that we don't want to do because there's something in it, right? So you should, drop your cat. Let me drop it for you.
Oh, bless you. Hey, what you said, though, this is the reminder I've received today. This life brings us things we you know what? Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do. So
Amen.
look for the things you don't want to do, and then find gratitude in the fact that you can get that shit done. Even though you don't want to do it, you can feel grateful for the fact that you can.
You have the ability to. You have the option to.
Yes. Well,
I have, the older I've gotten, Jack, I have to talk myself out of leaving the house. It's okay. Just go to the store today, because I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to. Like, I have to talk myself out. Like, I need a day of mental preparation just to head out into the world.
What do they call it? Agoraphoria or something?
Isn't it arachnophobia or something like that?
No,
where they're scared?
That's spiders. I'm talking about
I feel like you spend money the second you walk out the door. And I don't even want to deal. And then I'm in wrecks all the time. They're trying to take me out.
Oh, Cynthia, welcome to the real world. Nothing is free, not even your breath.
Oh my God. You're
not even your fucking breath.
I'm saying. Did I say I wanted everything to be free?
No.
I don't want to spend my money frugiously.
Well, you're also saying that some days you can't get out of bed or you don't want to.
Hold on. Golly gee.
Cage, I will say this about you. You seem to have a tone that's always the same. Like, it's not an excited tone or it's not a sad tone.
Well,
that's very telling at all to me as who you are.
And none of it affects me at all. I'm trying to interact with you people in a way.
The fact that you say you people, but now I'm going to ask some questions.
Well, I said that very purposely to get a reaction out of you.
Well, no, but see, now I'm thinking, are you autistic?
I'm like Rain Man.
What are you great at? Everything. What's your idiot savant
life thing? Reality. Life. I'm a savant.
I'm going to disagree with that.
Well, you could do your history. If you actually did your due diligence, you know. But
if I did my due diligence in what?
And judging my character.
Well, that's why I'm asking questions. I noticed that the monotone is kind of a telling clue. And then when you said your people, That was also another clue. So I'm asking if you're
I feel that
autistic, and I'm
purpose.
not asking to judge you. I'm asking because it's
Yeah, I'm
going to change
completely.
my perspective.
Yeah, I'm like the Rain Man. I told you that I'm Cage Man.
Okay.
The Dice Man. The Dice Man.
I think it's a Snaps and a Tommy thing. Okay.
There's a pattern of
It's
I don't know.
different.
I understand the patterns and I understand people very well. But I'm very perplexed about this experience sometimes, honestly, because of the characters that keep showing up. There's got to be a purpose. I keep telling myself that.
Okay. So much like the panels, I used to work at the mall. And when I worked at the mall, the most peculiar people would be attracted to me. And then, like, not physically, like, attracted, but they would just want to come and talk to me. And then they would, like, come and talk to me a lot more. Right. And they were always very, very peculiar people. And so one day I was talking to my friend. I'm like, man, like, do they keep coming and talking to me because, like, I'm one of their tribe? Like, am I peculiar too? And he said they see the light and they're just drawn to the light. Remember when I was talking about being the light? They like your airiness, like they feel comfortable, like they're just drawn to the light. Like, so people are just drawn to you, Jack. Like it's not a reflection on you. In a negative
actually,
way.
Everything is a reflection of you. Everything is a projection, actually, of your
I didn't.
mind. So all these people you're attracting is actually an aspect of your subconscious mind. You're like, oh, what? Why am I attracting all these certain people? Why? Because it's they are a projection of you, almost like a dream. In a dream, there's a bunch of characters, a bunch of landscapes. They feel like they're outside of yourself, but really, it's all part of you, just like this reality, right? So the reason why you're attracting all these beings and all these things towards you is because it's you. It's a reflection of you. Enjoy it. All these
weird... it's not a reflection of me. None of those people were reflections of me. None of them.
Jack's like,
not one of them.
Calm down, Cage.
Dude, well,
that's the truth. If you want to believe it or not, it's up to you.
There is a truth in what Cage is saying. Welcome, Angeleen.
Hi.
The topic of what we experience and, what do we attract? There is some truth to the fact that for whatever reason, my spirit has attracted each of you, and each of you has attracted my spirit. There's something greater that brings us together. And then it's up to us to discover why. And that's part of the game. We can assume we know everything already. We can pretend like we know what the other people are all about, what they're gonna do. I know what they're up to before they even think they do. It's like this silly game we play with each other. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
No, some people know what's going on, and those are the people that control this reality. You can call them the dark occultists or the ancient psychiatrists, whatever. They know exactly how the mind works and how to utilize it.
Yes and no. Okay, because whatever anyone else is doing is completely irrelevant to what's going on right here and now.
To the mirror thing. Hi, Cynthia. To the mirror thing, one thing I've learned is that a lot of people say people are a reflection of us, but I like to say that I think it's more of a reflection of our relationship with ourselves, and it's a reflection of how we love ourselves and how people show up in our lives. So I think it mirrors to us how we love ourselves and our relationship with ourselves often. And it is also true that especially people with a lot of trauma or whatever will be attracted to people who are safe and often will begin to let out a lot of stuff that they wouldn't before, as they feel safe because they're testing new grounds and new things to find out if they're still safe, like to like learn, right? So that can always be that as well.
You're so right, Angeleen, because they always say, I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I usually don't even talk this much to people. And I'm always like, why are you telling me all of this? Because some of it's really scary. But I totally agree with what you just said, Angeleen. Thank you.
But yeah, I was going to add on to what Angeleen said there. So really what it boils down to is a subconscious program that's being instilled into the individual. You just said it, you spun it a different way, but really it all boils down to the subconscious mind or the subconscious program or that everyone's been instilled with since the formative years of our life, right? We have different institutions like, the schooling system, education system. Even before you're even born, you're already being imprinted with these, with this subconscious program through your parents that, it goes down, right, through the genetics, right? Like the beliefs of your parents definitely have an effect on you before you're even born. And now you're brought into this world and,
They can. All sorts of things can affect us, but that's part of our individual growth and development. I was inspired by that video from Aaron Abke earlier. He said, I think it was his words. He said, this world is our catalyst. Okay, what's a catalyst? It's here to inspire growth, inspire evolution, refinement of our character, for the evolution, for the perfection of our individuation. That's what the rest of the world is for. It is here for us uniquely. The world uniquely presents itself to each of us so that we become who we are.
Exactly, Jack. And the process of individuation, for example, it's like individe. If you look at it, it's like so like it goes back to that dream state thing that I was bringing up earlier. But individuation is the taking control of your mind and your subconscious mind that creates the program that you see externally in this reality, right? So
yes.
It all goes back to the subconscious program. That's all it is. That people know this and they instill it into people, in
here, yes, Cage, there's a lot of external programming, but the key is to recognize our power, our ability to become love.
Exactly, Jack. That's what I'm saying. But the external programming is really internal. Nothing can happen to you without you have to actually play along with this shit and actually let it seep into your being and go into your program. So once you're aware of this, like you're just playing along. That's why everyone's an actor and actress, right? You guys might as well have an Oscar at this point. So
when we're in the process of being programmed, though, we're often not aware of that, especially in the younger ages, right?
But now you are.
We are and we're not. I mean, we can become aware of parts, but there's always going to be parts that we have no clue about as well. And I mean, we got to become more and more aware of ourselves all the time, like an onion, right? I mean, how many revelations do we have in a lifetime of, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I had this belief or this habit.
You say like an onion?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's perfect. Like the Tor network, right? The dot onion and the dark web, whatever. It's like the deeper layers of the subconscious mind. Really, in Jungian psychology, it'd be the shadow self, right? It's always a 3-part thing: thought, emotion, and action, or the tria prima in alchemy. It's always the same.
Paige, I've just keyed in on what I think frustrates me with you. It seems like you have an air about you that you know everything. You present yourself an opinion on every damn topic, and I'm sitting here patiently wondering, should I try and talk? I mean, is this the Cage show again?
It's the Talcott show. Talcott Thursday.
It's Talcott Tuesday.
No,
Thursday.
I don't.
It's keeping the conversation going, though.
He
I think
does. He really does. And I'm sorry.
I think another thing to what you're saying too is there's different parts of us that get wired, right? Like we think of our thoughts and beliefs, but honestly, our muscle memory, our nervous system, and our brains all get wired, right? So even being conscious of small habits that lead into injury that we do every day is hard, right? And I think a big revelation for me that helped me move forward was realizing that my brain is just an organ that can be wired and does have thought patterns kind of weaved into it and worn in like thought paths. And that I think that's the beauty of meditation, is stepping out and realizing we're not our thoughts, that we can observe the programming, or if we're not aware of that, we just think we are the programming. We just think we are the automatic thoughts that are coming up and the ideas and voices and visions and whatever. And when you can step back from that and realize, oh, my brain is thinking this thought right now, you realize you're the observer of that, and that's what the organ, your brain, has been wired to. And then you can start to figure out ways how to fix that or wire different paths, which takes work, not just awareness, but like work.
Yeah, it sounds, Angeleen, it sounds like disassociation from the ego to me, really. You're disassociating from the ego. You're almost looking at it like in a bird's eye view, and you're not getting in psychic work in specific things in order to manipulate reality, if you want to call it that, or have a specific result or get information, whatever, any of that. As soon as you have your emotion involved into it, there's like an extra barrier, or like kind of like a static that goes over it in a way. So it's like what you're saying.
You
is
want to talk about solutions or just the problems?
It's not a problem.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Just forgive my interruption. Go back to the cage. Go back to.
All right, Jack. Sorry, man.
Emotions are not bad either. Like, we can't demonize thoughts or emotions. Just recognizing that it's energy that's moving through us, stuck or resisting it. We need to allow them, but again, not attach ourselves to them, right? Just like our thoughts. We don't attach to our thoughts. We don't want to attach to our emotions. We just want to allow them to be as they are and allow them to express as they need to leave the body. And then, once we come to a more grounded place, we can address whatever it is that's actually happening. But I don't think they're bad either, and they don't distort things. It's just when we have an emotion, we often panic because it immediately makes us attach it to a thought, right? Like it brings back muscle memory, it brings back thought patterns when we're feeling a certain way. So it's just trying not to attach thoughts to those things.
Yeah, so Angeleen, you're kind of alluding to thought forms that you get attached to, and this kind of manifests through your subconscious mind into reality that you see around, right? These attachments or thought forms you associate specific things to. Again, this is a program that we've been put into.
How are you doing today, Jack? What's the topic today?
Mic check.
Welcome, London. Sounding good, brother.
Hi, London.
Little soft, actually. Let me check.
Cheers, Jack.
I'm going to turn you up a little bit. Try again.
Mic check. 2 1 2.
There we go. Much better. Thank you.
Loud and clear, London.
Sounds good. The topic was divinity within humanity, which isn't actually accurate. It's the divinity that overcomes the human limits. I'd love to talk about some of the things that have been discussed regarding emotions, part of our development, our emotional development, our maturity as beings, and our spiritual development is learning what to ignore. Pain exists, emotions exist, thoughts exist constantly. They don't have to move us.
And Jack, I've seen you've been kind of interested in alchemy lately, right? So there's something called the Tria Prima in alchemy, and it's like thought, emotion, and action, or in the alchemical terms, it'd be salt, sulfur, and mercury. It's just the same idea of the convergence of the left and the right hemisphere of the mind, going through a greater understanding of reality, and able, once you have the convergence, you're able to have an effect on this realm that we're in a way. You're now their own you're mastering your own mind.
I like what you said when you said learning what to ignore. It's almost like forgetting the things that had no value to us, really, because we think a lot of things have value to us, but when we really look through it, they have no value to us. So we have to learn to ignore them and proceed. I like that.
That's beautiful, brother.
Yep.
We're
Go ahead.
with ignoring, what I was referring to is the pain, is the lack. I caught myself doing this. I mentioned this yesterday, and I've caught myself doing it a bunch recently again, focusing on the lack. Well, where energy goes, that's where attention goes, that's where our energy grows. And I don't want to grow feelings of lack. So I've been training myself to ignore the pains. Okay, when I ignore the pains and I focus on the pleasure, guess what? Life feels pretty fucking amazing.
Ignorance is bliss, Jack. Jack, I'm gonna go at you a little bit here, but if you look in the Hermetic principles, right, it's like the law of polarity, or it's like the pendulum swing. Really, what you cannot, if you try fighting these quote negative emotions or negative outcomes, now you're played, now you're fucked, now you're in their game, you're playing their chess game. So really, what you have to do is it's transmutation, right? Every thought, negative or positive, everything, cold or hot, it's all the same thing. Different degrees of the same thing. So the point is, there's energy there. It's what you do with it. You get trapped into trying to avoid things. You can't avoid anything. Eventually, you try running away, that's just going to come find you eventually. So there's no one, you can't really run away from it. So it's about facing it head on, transmuting that. And just because it's negative or has a negative effect on your ego and your life or whatever, doesn't mean it's like completely out there to get you. That's an opportunity for you to, do the work.
Cage, my patience is being tested.
I know it is.
So fucking grow up and show some respect.
We got dark cock going on here.
Hey, actually, I'll be right back. Someone's at the door.
You got to knock on the door. It's usually how it goes.
Hey, Cage, you get a kick out of this, don't you?
Bro, this just so obvious. Like, are you guys fucking goddamn twiddling your thumbs like retard? Like, come on, wake up. You got the knock on the door, everything. Okay.
What do you mean the knock on the door? What do you mean by the knock on the door?
The first 3 knocks, bro. You have to knock 3 times.
Okay. Uh-oh. Okay.
Big up London, though, bro. I hope you've been well, brother.
Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been trying to crack this code to this paradigm. I've been good. I'm making good progress over here.
I know you're out there with you almost have it, don't you? I think you already have it, actually. Now I think you're playing along with it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Cage. I swear to God, Cage, you're not wrong. I can't give it to them in one complete package. I have to give it to them in doses because they'll overdose if London give it to them.
You can't bullshit a bullshitter, you know what I mean?
Come on. You already know. Hey, salutes to TT in the building. Don't judge me in the building. Yolanda, Paul, Bex, Rachel. We're all up in there, man. Salutes to the panel. Much love. Much love. Chuck in Tennessee. Everybody. Good stuff.
Big up London and everything, you know. Come on.
Mm-hmm. No doubt, no doubt.
Just waiting for Jack to get back.
Indeed.
He has a knock on the door, though.
It's probably the postman or something. I keep forgetting you guys
I
are.
thought Jack was the postman. What the fuck?
You lot are several hours behind me. When it's a knock at the door at this time of night, normally I don't even answer it. But you lot are like 6 hours behind, even 8.
Where are you located?
London.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5:45 here, so you just have a little bit of light left. You're in good old Canada. It's nice and cold.
Oh, Canada. Okay. Okay.
You're in China too. I'm in Canada also.
China.
Yeah. The new trend is China, I guess.
I'm in fucking Toronto. It's even worse over here.
Oh yeah, yep. I'm in a little bit of a more stubborn area, thank goodness, but everything seems to follow suit. Whatever Toronto does seems to trickle out everywhere. So I feel for you. Not a fun place to be.
Oh, I love it. I'm never gonna leave. I've been here since I was born.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not running away. Most people, too expensive. All this little, fork in the road, and they run away. No, I'm here. You can't really get rid of me.
Jack. Hey, my apologies, my gratitude.
He was at the door, Jack.
Patience and understanding. The property owners have arranged for the sprinklers to be blown out, so I've got someone taking care of the sprinkler system for me. It may get loud, and I may actually, if it does get too much, we may have to shut it down today.
When I used to do stone masonry, Jack, when I was like 15 years old, I used to do stone masonry. And the sprinkler guy that knocked out, that guy was deep into the esoteric stuff, bro. The guy was like a wizard. He was like the sprinkler guy. He bought everything. He was an awesome individual. Hopefully you have the same sprinkler guy knocking on the door.
Dear Lord, man. Why is this? I've recognized actually these words. There's a divine force that brings the different personalities for us. Sometimes close to us, sometimes at a distance. But those personalities that catch our attention, whether it's through admiration or whether it's judgment and disgust, are triggered. I can't stand them. Those are the real ones. You got to look close for that and find out why. What it typically is we're doing what we're judging others for. And this kind of comes into what Cage was talking about, where we either project or reflect the world around us. And where I was going, there's a 9-minute video by this guy that I can't do it justice, what he explains. Plus, he's got some good visuals to help reinforce. And I've been wondering whether to play that, but then I've been sitting here listening to Cage, and so I'd much rather listen to the other guy than Cage. No offense, buddy.
Fuck Cage. Fuck Cage. That guy's a fucking idiot, man. Get rid of him.
No, Cage is here and present. And as far as I'm concerned, those who are here and with me in the present, They're irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm saying I'm gonna see Cage eventually, maybe around 9 o'clock, and we'll deal with him. We'll get rid of him.
Right.
I mean, fuck Cage. He's on the list. He's on the Talcottian list now. You're done.
Well, what are your thoughts? I honestly don't know. Would you guys be entertained by something like this? Would you have interest?
Let's
I
have
don't
a
know
look.
what the rules are
Go for
either.
it. That's what you're feeling right now. You should go with it.
Bless you, Angeleen. Thank you. This is Aaron Abke, and he's bringing up a message for humanity regarding the time of war that we're all dealing with here. Here.
We should be all the more grateful to be aware of the divine presence within us, to be aware of love's presence in our life, and the fact that our own I am is the only governing power in our life, not the worldly principalities and powers, governments, people groups, ideologies. None of that has any power that is not given to it by my own I am. So we're living in a very opportunistic time to begin practicing and implementing the conscious use of I am. Wherever I place my attention is what I'm energizing and increasing in quality in my life. It's what I'm inviting into my life. And so, in these very challenging.
I think this is where he takes this conversation too, but where our energy goes, there's divine forces that work with our minds and our energies, our emotions. So as all the news of war and all the panic and all the fear porn starts coming up, there's a lot of reasons to be angry and afraid.
Yeah,
that's not our role.
And Talcott, you see how he's saying there's nothing outside of the I am, like that can affect you. So it goes back to the subconscious mind thing, really.
Yes. Actually, this does tie around pretty well, because our best case scenario is to deprogram our mind, to unlearn what this world conditioning has offered to us. And the best way to unlearn it is to give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to start fresh, to restart at any time. Were you going to pop in?
I was just going to say where our focus goes, our energy flows.
In times for humanity, it's a great practice to be able to, on one hand, be aware of what's going on in the world, be aware of where the service is needed, right? We can't just close our eyes to the outer world and say, oh, I don't pay attention to anything that goes on because I don't want to invite negative energy into my mind. That's a disempowered, fearful point of view, isn't it? We say, I absolutely want to be aware of the activity of the world so that I can be of service to all beings, to bring the love and the light that's needed. Because, hey, if we're not paying attention to what's happening and actively choosing to send love and light in those directions, even in a physical way to be of service when possible, right? To bring physical help or care or service when needed. If we're not doing that, who's going to help the world?
This is kind of where my mindset has taken me. And I'm not saying everyone has to feel the same way, but I really do think, where'd it go? This is what I felt within me for quite a while. And actually my life brought me to this point in many different ways in my past. So for me, it kind of becomes pretty obvious. The time for waiting for others is over.
What if can Cage come if I'm fashionably late? Will I be accepted?
Okay.
Who's going to save the world from itself if we're not the ones shining the light of truth in the world? So we have to be aware of what's happening, but on the other hand, not fix our attention upon it, right? Not fix our attention upon the darkness, the negativity, the suffering, the pain. We don't want to be feeding and brooding over the news all the time, because that is going to intensify the negativity. We should always see what's happening in the world with an enlightened illumined perspective, right? Compassion, understanding, kindness, care. You know, we had this great discussion in my Living the Course group on Friday. We have weekly Q&A calls. Many of you are in those calls. And
Hey,
I brought up this point that we had done a little interview.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's almost like it's like one of these psychology things, right, Jack? Whatever you do, please, everybody listening, do not think of the pink elephant. Right? Too late. You've thought of the pink elephant because you're bringing it into reality through talking about it, right? So there's always this division or divide, or the.
Yes, you've brought this up several times before.
It's ordo ab chaos, order out of chaos, right? So you need this polarity, and that's what they feed off of, and they psychologically fuck with people with it. Oh, don't think of anything negative. You have to be good and loving and all that. That's the same. If you're good and loving, that means you're evil and the opposite of that, really. You can't love without hating.
I think the big thing is just not, you can be aware of things, but it's not focusing on them, but focusing on the solutions and the answers, right? So it's like, instead of being like, oh, this horrible thing, and all we're doing is that, instead of being like, wow, look at these ideas and answers and solutions. And I honestly, like, because I think energy is always expanding, we have to look to where it's expanding, not where the resistance and the crumbling down is happening, right? So, I mean, it's good to have knowledge. It's like a tool in our tool belt towards things we want to create, and to be aware, but we want to focus on the answers and the solutions.
I agree, Angeleen, but this is the mind fuck. It's like, don't think of the pink elephant, right? So you can have something that can crumble, meaning in your mind you've already been programmed to the point where you grasp this thing, and that there's always this risk of it crumbling, meaning that you're being put into a cage, a mental cage. With their nonsense.
Hey, Cage, just like Angeleen was saying, let's focus on solutions. So instead of focusing on a cage, let's focus on freedom. That's actually what I'm trying to encourage people to consider, is freedom from the mind.
Exactly. And Talcott, think about this, right? The only true freedom. How can you expect to have any freedom at all if you don't take control of your own mind and consciously reprogram your subconscious mind in order to, if not, then someone else will do it for you.
Things which do not serve. Cage, removing the things which do not serve from our life experience. That's something that's the thought that just came up here with me and you right now. Because you're right.
Yeah.
To deprogram, that is part of our path. Each of us, individually and together, we're here to help each other remove that from within us that no longer serves us. The fear, the insecurity, the limitations, the hate.
But Jack, we got to remember, not everything that is, quote, negative or puts us through tribulation or some sort of discomfort is negative, right? It's like building a muscle.
Not everything that strengthens us is beneficial, right? So, Cage, brother, I've been trying to get you to...
I was going to say, Jack, it's like building a muscle. You have to rip that muscle and it, it formulates again, it becomes stronger. And it's not negative. It's a part of the building process. You're building your foundation as an individual,
I hear what you're saying for some strange reason. I hear what you're saying.
Paul Selig, who's an amazing channel for some guides in the non-physical realm that bring through many incredible books and texts through him. And so he's also a good friend of Mark Anthony Lord. And we were talking to him about some of the books he's been channeling. And don't quote me on this, but I want to say it's from his book, The Book of Innocence, I think. We were asking him about this concept. And he said that his guides the way his guides discuss the things that are happening in the world and what should our relationship be to the chaos, the war, the violence, the pain of the world. Should we shut our eyes to it and say, no, I don't see that, I only see perfection? Or should we try to see the perfection in what's happening?
There you go.
And he said that his guides say, if you see hypothetically a sword about to be struck upon another being and you're there and have the opportunity to stay the hand, the guide said, stay the hand.
That's what he's offering, is these interpretations that are allegedly coming from another guide, spiritual guide. But this is the belief that I feel for myself, is that we are here to serve God's will. And I interrupted it too soon. I'm trying to create opportunities to be present where I know those hands holding the swords are striking, figuratively, in the boardrooms and these fucking military orders.
Can you describe for me what he means by stay the hand?
It means like pretty much like, let's say you're gonna see somebody bludgeon Talcott.
Yeah.
Stop the strike.
I can grab Talcott. I can grab the opposers of the hand and be like, I'll stay the hand. Meaning I can intervene and stop it from hitting Talcott in the head. In a way.
No, because I am the will of God. See, you're always leaving yourself out of the picture when you're contemplating God's will. God cannot and does not act unless through God's own individuated mind, which is you and me. There's nowhere else. There's no other point for the God presence and energy and power to be made manifest into the physical other than through a physical being who chooses to be the conduit. And so what I said in LTC is that teaching that Paul shared from his guides really sparked an awareness in me of something I wasn't seeing yet in this picture of how do we be in the world and be of service in times like this without getting drawn into it. And, sometimes we say, well, we have to let people act out their insanity. There's definitely karma at play. We don't want to try to always cut off the karma or something. But what I think is being pointed to here, and I want you guys to see this, is that as A Course in Miracles says, we are asked to see the Christ in everyone, to see the divinity in everyone. And even Paul's guides say this in many of their texts. If you deny the divinity of another person at any point, you've denied divinity in yourself. So this is a very commonly taught spiritual principle. See only the divine in everyone. And so
completely true, because everyone's a projection of yourself. So if you deny somebody else, it's like, what, you're mad at yourself? Like, go look in the mirror and fight, go punch the mirror then, if you're trying to put people down in that way. Like I said earlier at the beginning, everybody, you don't even understand the power you have in this reality. It's all a conscious program.
I kind of agree and I disagree, because there's some people out there that do totally wrongdoings and they're not a reflection of me. They're definitely not a reflection of me, and I'm not a reflection of them.
Well, if you're allowing it to happen in your vicinity and you're seeing it, then it is a reflection of you, because you're not doing anything to change it.
No, because some of these things are out of my reach. They're out of my reach.
That's what you think. Nothing is out of your reach. You understand everything is you. All projection.
This is the paradox that can be hard to overcome, but it's the acceptance of the I am presence. If the I am presence is me, then it is that which is through all as well. And there is a unity through it all. So this us and them, the way I've humbled myself to be is that I know the evil shit I've thought of. I know the stupid things that I have done. The two didn't align in my life, but I can understand how other people, may not receive the what's the word? Where someone comes in at just the right time to intercept, to intervene.
Like kind of reconciliation?
Well, maybe others didn't have the same life I lived, but I know the darkness that's within me, and I know that we are all capable of amazingly good and amazingly bad. There's a force that's beyond us.
Sorry for testing your patience, Talcott.
It's not you, man. It's God. It's me. Actually, it's me testing my own patience. Because patience is
Now
always
you're catching
available.
on, Talcott.
I've got Google chirping at me in the background. My patience is getting tested too.
See what I mean?
It's because I gave up caffeine and what's the other stuff? Nicotine. I gave them up and I'm feeling it. That's why the patience.
Are you high off Jesus, Talcott?
I'm trying to be. I sincerely am trying to figure out what am I supposed to do? I've been turning to God, right? Turning to love, to Jesus, whatever. I don't know what to do.
Well, that's the point. You know what you have to do? You have to be yourself, Talcott, and you have to learn every single day. That's it. That's the most you can do. You have to try to apply yourself and understand what this reality is and learn. All right? If you're not learning every day, you're fucking up.
I agree. That's what I realized several years ago, and I've been on a path of learning on my own for quite a while. And I don't know.
I think
But you
also
see, like
just
Talcott,
have
like you have
grace for yourself and love yourself, Jack.
Sorry, Angela.
It's another thing that we need to learn, right? To know ourselves. And again, that reflection of our relationship with ourselves. You're putting yourself on the hard track, really trying to push yourself so that you can grow. And I see that, but don't forget to keep having that love and grace and self-care in the process, right? You don't always have to be pushing and perfect, and right, fill up that energy tank too.
Well said.
The thing is, though, is within I am filled with love, but the contradiction is clearly outside of me. And this is, I mean, I know when I say I don't know what's going on, I really mean it. I don't know what the hell's going on. I know what I've learned. I know what other people have said they've experienced. I know what I believe I've experienced, but I've been wondering, why am I unworthy?
You're not unworthy, Talcott.
I know I'm not unworthy, Cage. I know that. But the world and those who have mostly come into my life, they want to fucking convince me daily that I am unworthy. And so I'm trying to understand sincerely, how do I get this world to change for me? How do I get my life to change? So here I am.
It's a subconscious
I'm focused
mind,
on Cage, please. I'm focused on purity. Now that I finally break away from here, the last impurities that I'm aware of is my profanities, my sugar, and my cannabis. Cannabis is probably going to be done today. So that will leave sugar and
allow the cannabis, Talcott.
Well, I don't know what to do to change my life except change me.
What it is, it's you do it. You have to change yourself, and really, you don't. All these things, you just have to. You're comfortable. You deal with it. If you really want things to change, you have to change the way your mind is set up right now, because obviously it's set up for the result that you're getting, which is not helping you apparently.
Yeah, everyone outside can assume I'm doing wrong. You're right, Cage. And eventually I will come across people who will see it my way. That maybe.
Hey, Jack, listen, if you know who you are and you know what you're doing, like, for example, if you get deep into, like, the Rosicrucian text and all that, you get deep into it, right? really what they say is this, right? Do you think about your breath while you sleep or your heartbeat or any of that? No, it's just automatically happening, right? So you have to be very, very strong-minded and get rid of all this nonsense and put it into your mind that I'm Jack Talcott, and all this shit will assimilate into my reality. Why? Because it's a deep subconscious program that I've put in instead of their nonsense. Bro, you know who the fuck you are. How can anyone stop you? When I hear people try fucking saying, "Oh, Cage did it," bro, that's fuel to the fire. Throw another stick in.
Yeah, I know. My fire has been fueled by Cage. My fire has been fueled by people who bet against me most of my life, but most predominantly the past 6 years.
Jack, have you been, if you look honestly and look in the mirror, have you really been betting against yourself predominantly for the last 6 years?
No. Well,
maybe in a way you have.
I gambled on the fact that I thought other people were going to support me. I was fucking wrong.
Bro, why? Enough of other people. All these people are.
Yeah, I know, Cage. See, you're constantly fucking interrupting me. Convincing me to try and go along with what you think, and it's really irritating, dude.
That's not what I think.
Cage, there's a very strong possibility. Matter of fact, from my seat, I'm considering it a probability that God brought us together. I don't want it for you to learn from me first.
Yeah.
How about that? I've
learned a lot from
anybody.
I have learned a lot from you, Jack, bro. You're a wise man. But there's like this one mental block everybody has. Or like, it's funny how a bunch of people can diagnose the problems of others, but it's so easy for them to do it for themselves. But it's so difficult to deal with their own problem. But it's so easy to tell other people what they're doing wrong, right, Jack? It's the same idea.
Hey, Jack.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm kind of getting something, and hopefully I can get the words out, but just let me try and puzzle pieces together. But once upon a time in your past, you weren't very proud of how you reacted to people. Yes? Or were able to put up with them or deal with things or whatever, right? Just the way you showed up. You didn't like that. So I'm almost getting this sense that in some ways you're like trying to show yourself that like, look at all the people that I can put up with, right? You're showing yourself like you're wanting to grow. You don't want to be that place anymore. But the thing is, I honestly don't think you have to. Are you holding yourself in a place where you feel like somehow I should be able to deal with all these people? I should, like you're just kind of putting a lot of pressure on you to have to be okay with all these people, to have to know how to deal with them. And is it maybe a bit of a condemnation on yourself because of where you were? Like a pressure on yourself that doesn't actually need to be there.
It could very well be true. In a greater path, yeah, I can totally see what you're saying and how I'm doing that. The recent thought I had today is that, apparently God must know I'm stronger than I think I am, because that's why the mercy has not been there. And it's ironic that you say that, because that's the mindset I was taking within me, is that it's my role to fucking toughen up, keep toughening up, keep getting past all of the triggers, all of the mindset, Get rid of it. Become perfect.
It's not about being perfect, Jack, but it's easier said than done. But yeah, you do have to let go of these things that people are putting you purposefully into this ideology, into this mindset. They've been doing it for a long time. So I'm saying you have to recognize their game and use it against them.
Okay,
or just be peaceful. You don't really have to use it against them.
Cage.
Yep.
Thank you. The reason I've been doing this, I don't know any other way. I don't know how to convince people to change. People are going to do what they want. They're going to behave how they will. And I don't know what to do. So I've been changing me. But maybe I am having this mindset and maybe some sort of thinking that I don't need to do.
It's a little bit too hard on yourself. Like, once upon a time, you showed up in a way that you didn't like, that you weren't happy with, you weren't proud of. But now, holding yourself there, saying, now I have to show up better all the time when these people show up that are challenging me, it's almost like you're holding yourself in a place when you really don't have to. I almost wonder if it's like part of the block is this pressure on yourself that doesn't actually have to be there. Like, you are showing up better. You are a better person. You can react better. Do you have to keep challenging yourself? I think forcing yourself to stay in these situations that are really pushing when it's unnecessary, like you don't have to be in these situations, to show that you are doing good, you are better, you have improved, not even to anyone else, but to yourself. I just hope that you know that you have improved. Like, I don't know, you could be stuck there. Your focus, your vision could be stuck there. You could be stuck in this place of, I've got to put up with this. I'm attracting these people for a reason. You're just toughening yourself up. You're really trying to do this thing, but you're not recognizing that maybe you are better. And just because you're ready to be like, hey, I don't want to deal with this, and I'm okay to cut you out. And you know, it doesn't make me a bad person, because I'm not that person that I was in my past. Just because I'm choosing to not allow this in my environment doesn't mean that I'm failing. It doesn't mean that I am what I was. And you can really like bring in some new people into your life. Like, that's okay. That's okay to choose you, like to bless you, right? But can things bless you if you're not ready to like bless yourself with being okay with some of these things not coming around and hurting you?
Yeah, you know what, Angeleen, I can actually attest to that in a way, because when I started reprogramming my subconscious mind, I was like a young teen. I'm still in my 20s now, but I was a young teen, and what I felt like my major block was, I felt like I didn't deserve this or something, right? Like, oh, like I might as well give it to somebody else. Like, I don't deserve it. So I feel like that is kind of like a block that a lot of people have to go through. You know, it's like you don't feel like you're ready, or you deserve it, or you've earned it, or I don't know. For me, like, I like earning what I get. Just, it's a weird block, especially for men, like Jack and that. But I think the main issue with Jack is it's the family.
You're already good, Jack.
Man misses his family, which is going to come back to him. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, Jack. Reconciliation. Your family's gonna come back, bro. I can see, Jack. I barely know you, but I have been here for a few months at least, right? Randomly appearing. I haven't been on here for a long time, bro. I've seen so much growth in you, Jack, and you're becoming so wise in that. Bro, You're a blessing to anybody around. Maybe back in the day you made wrong decisions, you had a problem with alcohol, whatever, and that kind of pushed people away. But now you're a changed man. You're a new person. You really came into your character. You know what it is. You have to get that doubt out of your mind. Like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Dude, yeah, you do know. You know what to do, man. It's all within you. And that the fact that you have this idea, like I even have it too. I have the same thing. I'm not saying it's you, but most people, including myself, have this idea where it's like, it may or may not happen. Well, guess what? When you think like that and you really have that feeling, there you go. You get probability.
Have you ever considered that it's not because of you, Jack?
Yep.
It's not because of you.
Right. It doesn't change anything. And even if I've changed, it doesn't change anything. So this is where I'm at. I've been struggling, admittedly. I truly, genuinely. Angeleen, your insight is very... I'm going to reflect and consider this more later, too. Because I have been feeling weak the last couple of days. Really fucking frustrated. My son...
Dominic.
Yeah.
We got Dominic in the chat.
Fuck you, Cage. I know you keep bringing that up as a joke. Fuck you, Cage. It's not funny.
That's not funny. And if we have Dominic in the chat. He said,
yeah, I know. We've got Dominic in the chat. You brought Dominic back into my life. That's what you said to me, you fucking asshat. You're so insensitive. You're so arrogant. Maybe that's me.
How are you loving yourself, Jack?
I am. I have been. I've been accepting myself. I've been loving myself. I've been envisioning myself in success, with support, with recognition, with abundance. I've imagined, I've spent time envisioning myself in success, then working backwards to find out the plans. What do I need to do to get there? And then I work on all my plans. But fuck, yep, my plans, hey, they require humans' cooperation. Oh no, Jack, you're an idiot. You got to do everything yourself. That's what Kay just fucking keeps telling me.
I've never said that once to you, Jack.
Bullshit, you haven't.
You're hurting.
I have been.
When I say loving yourself, I kind of mean in this situation. So when people come around, I'm not saying you, Cage, but in general, I see a lot of people coming around that are very mean, very challenging, very hurtful, very much think this is hilarious, right? To trigger you and push buttons and play games. And then I have to ask, in this, how are you loving yourself? Instead of pushing yourself all the time.
Very true. And Jack, I'm sorry. I didn't try to come off in a way where it's just funny how this world works, You have to be very specific with what you want and what you project out there. Jay. And you know what? I'll go out of my way. You really want help? You want help? You want someone on your team? You really want something working in the background for you? I got you. It's already taken care of. Enjoy it.
Yeah, you've told me that before.
And patience, my friend. Patience.
Yeah. Hey, I love this suggestion. Sorry. I love this suggestion. I'm going to figure something like that out.
You're a father figure, and you have learned to put up with a lot, and it has attracted almost people who need a father figure in their life, but you also need that balance of it's okay to love you too, and it's okay to, if I don't want to deal with you right now because I need to be loving to myself. It's okay for me to step back. It's okay for me to not be able to deal with you right now and take time to love me and take care of me? And can you do that and feel okay? Like, I'm not a failure if I need to do that. I don't have to push myself more. I think that would be a really good thing to look at, because then I think if some of that balance could come in, it would be really beautiful. Like, you're not going to be easily triggered when Jack is with Jack, right? Like,
no, you're right. You're right.
When you're okay to like love you and there's no condemnation there.
You know, yes. I've worked through a lot of things on my own, trying to figure out, why is this happening? Why am I feeling this? What's the memory that's bringing forth? I'm proud of what I've been able to figure out on my own. But
Jack, you're way too hard. You're super self-critical. You're way too hard on yourself, bro. You know, and I think that's also like another part of the block. Like you're way too. You overanalyze every little situation, every word you say, every interaction you have, and this is, it's like a mental baggage, bro. You are a good man, and you will get what you need to have. Okay. And I guarantee that, and there's nothing that anyone could tell me that's different. I know it's gonna happen. So,
thank you. I already have everything I need.
Well, I'm talking about the family aspect and all that.
In this moment, I am blessed with abundance, comfort, health, safety, spirit, and fellowship. Kind, beautiful, amazing fellowship. Thank you. Sincerely.
There's no need for a thank, but I know it for a fact. Like, trust me, I'm kind of weird like that. Like, I guarantee it's gonna happen.
What you're saying is true, but I kind of think this is my path. After I got sober, and when I started actually remembering to learn things on my own, I was studying meditation, mindfulness, psychology, all of these things all at once.
Yeah.
And I recognized, I shared this with a friend at work. The guy, one of my friends, Jim Sykes, he owe me a conversation, brother. He helped end my career because he didn't believe me. I told him in his office, he was one of the labor relations managers. I said, Jim, now that I've quit drinking, I look at myself, I'm actually a pretty decent guy. I'm actually a pretty decent guy, especially now that I've quit drinking. I said, and the reality is, I beat the shit out of myself to get me here. What if I actually tried to be more like Jesus, more perfected? What if I actually tried? That was a conversation I had back in 2018. And I've been eliminating my life. No more excuses, no more blame. And maybe that's what you're seeing, where I am critical. I very self-aware, self-reflective. I'll accept responsibility for the whole world if that's what it takes.
Well, you see, Jack, right? You see how you like. It comes to that, and it's like, oh, I have to be like Jesus or be like somebody else. Why don't you? Have you ever thought about being like yourself? Knowing who you are,
dude, that's exactly it. But the self that I've been, dude, I cause confusion. People get jealous, they get angry, they get confused by me. And so I don't know what to be. What I've been practicing, particularly over the past couple of weeks, is self-control. I don't even need to talk.
Putting pressure on yourself, though. Just being careful with that balance, because remember that what I was saying about how often people are in a reflection of us, the reflection of our relationship with ourselves. So is Jack hard on Jack? Does Jack put a lot of pressure and expectation on Jack?
I don't know. I honestly don't
think
know.
you're like taking on the whole world is a lot of pressure, right?
Not if it's a dream, because I'm pretty sure this is just a dream. It can't be real.
Yeah, it is
It's
real, Jack.
okay
But
for
it's very
Jack to
dreamlike.
love Jack and not feel bad if he has to kind of step away from people that maybe need help or whatever so that Jack can love Jack. Is that okay? Because in the end, ultimately, a lot of the things that are showing up are a reflection of Jack's relationship with Jack.
Exactly.
Right?
You know, I'm going to be the first one to say I love Jack. Jack, do you love yourself?
I do. Thank
All
you.
right. I love Jack too. So what about you, Angeleen? Do you love Jack?
Yeah, absolutely love Jack. Jack
There you
is
go. You have
awesome.
3 people loving Jack. You, yourself, and I.
I realize that. Thank you. There are many people.
It's all right,
But you
man.
put
Like,
a lot of pressure on yourself to love the people that are really difficult, right?
and remember, Jack, it's not about the destination. It's about
Thank
the
you.
journey. It's about the journey, not the destination.
Dude, yes, I understand that. I love my journey. I mean, sincerely, guys, I've shared this so many times. I love what I have become. I love what I am becoming. I love what I believe may actually happen through me, through us. I'm filled with hope and excitement. I am loving my my journey. I don't know what to do to convince others that it's safe to join me. It might even be fun to join
Hey,
me.
Jack, maybe on the path, you know, on the road, maybe you don't need to know exactly where you're going all the time, but, you know, you do know that you'll get to the destination that you need to be, right? It's going to happen either way. You don't have to, like, you know, worry about, all that. You know, you're Jack, and you'll go where you need to be, and it'll happen how it needs to happen, all right? Everyone has to go through that, you know, breaking down of yourself. Don't worry about it, man. You're already there. I'm over there in the future laughing. I'm like, oh, Jack, it was that easy, right? As soon as it happens, it seems like it was so easy, but it's very difficult. Yeah. It's a mental thing. It's all within the mind.
I've realized that with many things in life. Most things that seem impossible, can't do it. There's no way. Then once it's done, you're like, huh.
Well,
All right.
Jack,
Guess
think
it wasn't
about the
so hard.
word. Hold on. Think about the word impossible. I'm possible. Like, break it down. I'm possible. Impossible. Come on. You created it. I'm possible. Impossible. It's right in the word, you know. It's impossible. I'm possible. That's how you have to start breaking it down. The only limits that you have are the ones that you put on yourself, really.
That is where we develop ourselves, figuring out which limits to embrace, which limits to cast aside. What things do we pay attention to? What parts do we, where do we focus our time and energy, our attention? And what do we ignore? What do we say, okay, that exists, but it's irrelevant to me and what my purpose is? That's what I've been trying to develop, learning what to ignore.
And not feeling bad. So remembering that it's okay for Jack to love Jack. And if that means that he can't be extra loving for someone difficult at the time because Jack needs to love Jack, then Jack shouldn't feel guilty for choosing Jack and choosing to love Jack when loving Jack means not putting up with some people, even though Jack feels like he should be able to. and he should, this is the thing. Jack is kind of stuck in this place where you're really hard on yourself of I should, and but sometimes it's okay to be like, no, Jack needs to love Jack, and I'm not going to feel bad for it. And that's okay. You're not going to feel guilty for it. That's I think something to examine for sure, because I think it might be something you're stuck on in yourself a little bit, putting that pressure on you to have to show up when you really need to be showing up for you.
You could be right. And I'm gonna look at that. I don't want me to be observed wrong though either. I have been doing some of that. I mean, part of the time where I, especially with the unslaved one, not to bring up the name, but when I've exited and been accused of running or whatever. No, dude, that's self-love. It's like I respect me more than wasting my time with you. Or when I've thrown people out of here.
And that's part of the trick. So what happens is when they know where your weak spot is, they know that you're hard on yourself in this area. That is the exact area they're going to attack. Oh, look at Jack. He's failing.
Yeah.
Look at Jack. He can't deal, because this is the pressure Jack puts on himself. So they know exactly the target to go to and the button. So if Jack's trying to love himself, let's make him feel guilty. Let's tell him he's a failure. Let's put the voice in his head that he's beat himself up with for a long time. And they're bringing it all back. They figured it out. So you need to see what you're doing to yourself so that they don't have that permission to do that to you anymore. I have a very attention-demanding cat here right now, so if you're hearing noise...
It's all good. It's like misery loves company, right? So they try... Because other people, I don't know, people are fucking weird. Like, they want to be in the cage, right? Everyone's in the cage. It's like, oh, how dare you think about getting out of the cage? I might as well slap you down, put you back into the fucking confine, Some people think it's very odd, and they'll shoot you, bro. People are this whole YouTube thing it's kind of like kind of light, right? It's just whatever. It's the internet. People have their opinion. They say things. In real life, you really want to get deep into it. Yeah, in your third eye, in between your fucking eyes, you're gonna get shot right there, and you're done. That's it. For that avatar that you're appearing in, but it's not that big of a deal, man. We're not in. It's not. You have a gun to your head? No.
Hey, I think I'm gonna wrap up.
I knew it.
Yeah. Cage, thank you for joining. I think you've said what you've shared. Anything else you want to leave behind?
Not really. But it's all on you, Jack, really. Stop. It's all on me. It's all on you. I need to stop looking on the outside and blaming external issues or external things. And, maybe if you want to change, you have to change yourself. That's all it is. And it's just a way of thinking. It's so hard. It's so easy to say, but so hard, yet so hard to do. Right? It's such a simple thing to do, yet it's so difficult. Why is that? Because the people that are running this fucking shit have purposely put you into this. And you and everybody and me and everybody listening. One way or another. You can't really escape it. Right? So it's about knowing what's going on, the program, and dealing with it accordingly.
Thanks, Cage.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it.
All right. Thank you, brother. It's been fun. I appreciate
people sometimes go to the pressure and the guilt because it makes them feel better. But I think a big revelation too is to see that I think you learning this is big for this whole community, because when I look at this community, I see everybody doing that to everybody. right? You cut me out. You da da da. You blah, right? And it's like, you all got a big problem with the okayness of boundaries and self-love and making each other feel guilty for not putting yourself in the fight cage all the time and making yourself be okay. That's not, but this could be a big step for you to like maybe create a new path, not only within yourself, but within the community, because obviously there's a lot of people here struggling with that expectation, and people are pushing their buttons, everybody's buttons of what they did wrong and how they're weak and feel guilty and look how awful you, right? And then they try to push themselves to, oh God, okay, I gotta be able to put up with everything, and I gotta be able to, okay, otherwise I'm like failing, and they know how to do that. So just opening up a new path of it's okay, right? It's okay for Jack to love Jack.
Thank you. Angeleen, this comment here, sincerely spoken from me as well. Thank you for your poignant questions and observations. Your time and participation is, thank you, genuinely well received. Love you, my friend.
I love you too.
All right, I'm going to toss you out of here and finish up. Brothers and sisters, all of those who did, excuse me, join the panel, join the chat, joined, man, sincerely, Regina, and the members, the donors, those who were, promoting our poll, your support, sincerely, guys, some of you genuinely, I feel bad when I complain because I know I'm ignoring the support from amazing people. There is perfection that is happening with us, through us, with us all. Everybody dance now. Good night, Jack, and all. Pleasant exchange. Tonight was a wonderful time. I enjoyed the chat. I enjoyed the conversations. I hope you guys found some value. We never finished that Aaron Abke thing. I don't know how I feel about sitting here watching videos with other people. I don't know. I'm figuring this out. I'm loving me. I hope you guys are loving you, because I feel the love for me. I know the love for me. Divinity within humanity. What I did want to recognize is that in the cons, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just get into it later. There's a pure essence. There's an essence of love, the will of the divine, the will of God. It rolls and flows through us. It's not always clearly understood by us. It's not always clearly followed by us, but the will is there for us to learn. And the way to overcome the humanity part, the weak part, the fearful part, the part that is not whole, those are not real. You are whole. You are divine. You are pure. You are love. You are love without words, without movements. You are the love, the presence of love. The presence of being is the love that is brought forth through you. And the love you feel is the love who you are. The love you share, the love you offer, that is your true nature of you. I believe this for myself, so I trust this about you as well. And golly geez, I am going to wrap up. Well, this is a rare occurrence. Yolanda?
I caught you at the tail end of your stream, Jack. I'm sorry. I've been busy cooking dinner and stuff. I just wanted to send you some well wishes and blessings for your night. And thank you for your wonderful thought process that you shared with us again today.
Yolanda, you are so sweet. Thank you. Your audio is coming in a little froggy, and it is right at the end. I'm going to receive your words. Thank you, your love, sharing the love I feel with all of you. All of you, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be me, for accepting me. Thank you for allowing you to be you, for accepting you, for presenting you, perhaps. Maybe that's more accurate. Because, brothers and sisters, even though there are some, Cage gets to my... Cage and Chuck in Tennessee, those two guys, they have triggered me on occasion. And, but we're all here together for a reason. We're all here to remind each other of the love, who we are, to help each other unlearn the nonsense that's been taught to many of us from the past. Anyway, please, sincerely, till next time, be love, choose love, peace for everyone. Peace for everyone. And live without fear. God bless and thank you all.